Watch, top priority, what's best for the racehorse. Those colors in the winner's circle after the Jim Dandy. Mike Rapoli and Fierceness alongside and now joined by Rajiv Mirage. Rajiv, it's not what we want to hear as fans, right? Of course, we want to see Fierceness based on that effort in the Travers. We get that, but it's not the first time. We saw a horse named Rich Strike win the Kentucky Derby and skip the Preakness Stakes, right? What's best for the thoroughbred? So in the end, Raj, what we learned today was, as racing fans, like, great news, Torpedo Anna's running in the Travers. Not necessarily bad news, but Fierceness is back. He wins, but we're not so sure we will see him in the Midsummer Derby. We'll await a decision.
Well, the good news about it is they didn't say no, right? Fierceness, they want to see him at his peak, at his best. Every horse is different, and that's what's great about a trainer like Todd Pletcher and connections like these. They know how to assess the horse. And no matter how much we want to see him in the race, it's no value for us as fans if he's not 100% and he goes in there and throws a clunker anyways. So it's best that they make sure, assess him, that he's good enough, and run him in the race. But I do feel like, you know, as long as he transitions out of this race in good order, that they would want to go into the Travers, because he's on the verge of reclaiming his mantle at the top of the 3-year-old division. And if he could win the Travers, that will change the game.
But if they've identified that that's been the problem, the reason that he's come up small in big races at times has been the race spacing, then why make that mistake again if, in fact, you've identified that that's been the issue, that he just needs more time?
Well, race timing of spacing, it doesn't necessarily have a specific date on it or a timestamp on it. What it means is some horses recover faster and some horses recover slower. And while along the path of recovery, if halfway through now and the Travers, he starts perking up faster than they would anticipate, then now he comes back on course for the Travers. And if he's below the trajectory of making the race, then that's when they'll back off. So I think the answer is not going to be made now. It's going to be made somewhere between a halfway from now and until the Travers.
I hope he does perk up, because I want to see it. I want to see this again. The champion, Fierceness, top of the stretch here. Johnny Velasquez, Raj, take us through the tactics. He's going to keep him well off the rail while Flavien Prat launches his bid and darts down towards the rail with a dirt-covered Sierra Leone.
Knowing your horse, knowing your competition, having a plan. That's what John Velasquez is doing here. So one thing we knew about Fierceness, he's not too good about overcoming adverse positions. And the number one thing with him, it's not about not being on the lead. He does not want to be crammed in. He's a bit claustrophobic when he's between horses. It throws his game off. So John Velasquez wanted to keep him away from being crowded, and also inadvertently, it's putting Sierra Leone being the one being intimidated, you know, on the inside and having to come in a bit of an adverse position, trying to pass up on the inside.
The book on Fierceness, Mike Rapoli entering the winner's circle. Johnny Velasquez, he now becomes the all-time leading Jim Dandy winning jockey. He was in a tie, a 3-way tie for 4 wins. That's his 5th. The knock on Fierceness, this has been my observation, that faced with adversity, he throws in the towel, that he's not going to fight. God-given ability off the charts, but he's not going to dig and claw and scrap when you need him to. Today he fought.
And what we learn about adversity for him, what is the definition of adversity for him? He doesn't want to be crowded. He can sit off a horse. He doesn't have to have the lead, because he sat second today and he was still effective making his run. It's all about not being in a tight position. When he's in a tight position, he gets a little bit cowardly and he pulls back out of there. So going forward, his connections, I think they answered that question today. And also now his competition, they see what he's all about.
He dug in. He fought, showed his class, a champion. Fierceness taking down the Jim Dandy, and we await what's next. We know what's next on the show. Today's race is brought to you by Claiborne Farm. 100 years in the usual, unusually well. Claiborne with a homebred winning earlier today at Saratoga. The late double. Races 11 and 12. Horses are in the paddock for the 11th, about 9 minutes out. If you haven't signed up, a reminder, an invite. New York Breds, mile and a 16th on grass, 8 minutes out. Number 9, the current favorite at 9-2. Easy roll. Much more from the spot. Winding down Jim Dandy Saturday.
The Best 2-Year-Old by legendary sire Quality Road.
Head back, $1,500,000.
very, very impressive debut. Cantering home could not have been more impressive.
Coast to coast in the American Pharaoh. He's the real deal.
Undefeated and unchallenged at 2.
He's just too good. He wins the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
Corniche.
Monmouth Park's 50-cent win early pick 5 is one of the country's earliest pick 5s, making it the perfect way to get your wagering day started. With a 12:50 post on weekends,
Picture perfect afternoon in upstate New York. We're not done yet. Horses on track for the 11th. Coverage is always brought to you in part by Naira Bets. But any track, anywhere, anytime, visit NairaBets.com or download the Naira Bets app to get started. Updated odds for this New York bred affair with a $95,000 purse allowance on the Mellon Turf course. And we start with Clear Conscious and Javier Castellano at 6-1.
The one that I picked just finished second last time out at this level.
Number 2, Rabaha, impressive maiden score.
Yeah, that maiden win was impressive because he didn't show speed prior to that, and this time he just broke on the lead and sprinted away around there.
Tetas Trotter and 5-time Jim Dandy winning jockey John Velasquez.
This one is coming in off a poor performance at this level where he chased the pace and faded at 4-1.
Gem Mint 10, the barn going well. Ray Handel in his new suits.
This guy has a lot of tactical speed. Expect him to be close to the pace early.
American Grant, one gear, just kind of one pace has been the issue.
And that one pace isn't really been fast. It will be hoping for a complete pace meltdown to have a good finish at the end.
Starquist back to grass.
And it seemed like he runs better on the grass. His 2 grass effort aren't that bad, but he would still need to step up off that form to have a shot in here.
What's Topic Changer been doing?
Topic Changer was jumping hurdles last in 2023, came back to the flats and actually ran a big race last time, getting beat Fort by a length and a half.
Don't jump anything today. There's a Whistler's Honor and a Rod Ortiz.
Finished second last time and an off the turfer, gets back to the turf, which is his preferred surface.
Easy roll, Frankie Dettori in the saddle.
One that has been knocking at the door at this level after back-to-back third-place finishes, most recently getting beaten by a length. Needs a lot of pace in front of him.
Trainer Tom Morley coming for our job, in case you missed it this morning. Analyst on set, coming for our job. Willing it to risk it all. Flavian Pratt, second place finish in the Jim Dandy Award, Sierra Leone.
And they make a few changes here, switches to Flavian Pratt, but also they take the blinker off. This one, he's going to have to try to navigate over towards the rail going into that first turn. That's a tough outside post.
One of the better betting races of the day. It's wide open. You get Derby favorites at 4-1. We have a 4-1 choice, an easy roll. There's a contender in Rabaha, 7-1. His maiden win, this is what you were talking about, Raj, and the speed that he showed in his third career start. There he is in control, turning for home, and he's about to leave this field in his wake.
Well, this horse is going to have a major say in this race. This performance was impressive because prior to that, he hadn't been breaking well out the gate. His first 2 starts, he had poor starts and wasn't a factor. Kendrick Carmouche hustled him out of the gate. He got to the lead and just the light bulb went off. And
Can he do that again?
he can definitely do that again. He's close to the inside. He's breaking from post 2. He could be the controlling speed here. There's not a lot of speed sign on paper. You can see Kendrick giving him a aggressive warm-up, taking him away from the pony. That's an indicator of a jockey who wants his horse geared up and ready to go as the gate opens.
Kendrick not shy about tipping his hand in that regard. We'll see about Rabaha. Pedal to the metal, question mark. We'll find out. Clear Conscious. There he is at 6-1, and Javier Castellano, his latest, facing similar, going a mile and a 16th late June. And here he is starting to find his best stride. Clear Conscious about to pounce on that leaders, but gonna fall about a half length short, Raj.
Yeah, and what I like about this today, he's in the 1 post, and this day when he was just a half a length beat, he was tucked 3 wide around both turns, and that's not necessarily the place you want to be on the turf. And it kind of impacted him from having a quick acceleration down the lane. Today, he draws the coveted inside post on a 2-turn turf race. He's going to be able to be sitting in that pocket trip, saving ground the entire way. And there's also an extra added bonus. I was at the track yesterday morning, and I was walking, and a horse came up next to me. He was so full of energy and full of spunk and gorgeous. And I asked the exerciser, who is this horse? She said, it's Clear Conscience, and he's going to win tomorrow.
You tell me that 1 minute to post. Not this
There's
morning, not when we worked 3.5 hours together earlier.
There's still enough time to sign up your Naira bets to get the deposit match and deposit and make a bet.
Thanks a lot, team player. Over to Richie.
Well, I'm going to start with the 4-horse Gem Intent, who has been in very good form. He's drawn more to the inside. I do think that's a major factor. And just from a physical perspective, he's making an outstanding impression on me. Horse I got to mention at a huge price. I would be remiss not to mention, because I do think he's going to outrun his odds, are the 6 Starquist, the homebred for Chester and Mary Broman. This is a horse that has always hinted at ability. I watched him work one day on the Oklahoma turf course. I was with John Kimmel, and it was jaw-dropping. He has just not put it together in the afternoon. But as good as he looks today, if I didn't mention him and he runs a better race, and he also has the handsome Romero Mirage aboard, I just think at 38-1, he's a horse I had to talk about. And then the 9 horse is the horse I'm going to pick, the Tom Morley Easy Roll. You get Frankie Dettori taking over for the first time. He does have to work out a trip from that 9 path, but I'm really rooting for this horse also, because I want Tom to feel comfortable to continue training and not looking to, start into the broadcasting world. And he needs to win races so that we don't have to, be in competition with him. But it's a very short run to the first turn, guys, and the rails are out. And I think it is a difficult task for anybody drawn to the outside. So I'm hoping that the internationally renowned Lanfranco Dettori can work out a trip from out in post 9.
It hasn't been LaFranco since he won that Breeders' Cup Mile in '94 with Barathea beating Allure. Yeah, I'm the biggest Tom Morley fan in the world. I mean, I liked him before, but now I am rooting for every one of his horses to win. Because if this training thing doesn't work out, he's coming for one of our jobs.
Oh, I heard that our jobs are at threat right now.
Especially you. You're the analyst.
Yeah, Tom is going to dethrone me. But, it's a very important race, thinking about going into the first turn here. The stage is going to be set, establishing positions, because there's going to be a lot of maneuvering. The inside horses with speed are going to want to secure and hold the rail, and the outside horses are going to want to be fanning in and not get hung out to dry. So look for the jockeys making some crafty moves to set up shop going into that first
It's a fun
turn.
race.
It is.
Good stuff, with a very lukewarm favorite. 7-2 now. Easy Roll and Frankie. Frank Miramati with the call. Race 11 of 12, Jim Dandy, Saturday at the Spa.
One more left to load. Willing to risk it all. Going in. They're in the gate. And they're off. Tita's Trotter had a very good beginning. Willing to risk it all on the far outside, and Gem Mint 10 is quicker than both of them and speeds up on the outside to take the lead. So it's Gem Mint 10 in front, Tita's Trotter along the inside second, Clear Conscience a joint third, racing on the inside of Willing to Risk It All, who's kept in the clear and secures that third spot about 2 lengths off the lead. They're followed by Starquist. Topic Changer is next, racing 8 lengths off the leaders. Another 2 back to Rabaha. Whistler's Honor is toward the back of the field. Then it's another couple of lengths back to Easy Roll, and American Grant is far back. The opening quarter went in 24 3/5 seconds. So it's Gem Mint 10 and Luis Saez carving out all the fractions, leading it by 2. Willing to risk it all, moves into second. Tita's Trotter, yellow colors at the rail in third, and Clear Conscience is in fourth, right on side of Rabaha. 5 lengths off the lead into the far turn. Starquest and Topic Changer are next, followed by Whistler's Honor. Easy Roll is second to last, and 2 clear of American Grant, who has trailed throughout. The half went in 48 1/5 seconds. It's still Gem Mint 10 showing the way. He's been pursued throughout by Willing to Risk It All in second. There hasn't been much change at all in the running order. And it's Gem Mint 10 turning for home. Willing to Risk It All. It's been a nice trip for Clear Conscience, who's starting to pick it up in the center of the course, followed by Tita's Trotter. Inside the 8th pole, a hand ride for Gem Mint 10 to finish the job. No one's getting close. It will be Gem Mint 10 in front-running fashion. Clear Conscience will be second. Willing to Risk It All third in front of Whistler's Honor.
Clear Conscience won. I wasn't talking to you for a month. For a month. He gallops out. A big effort. A solid second place finish, but no catching. Gem Mint 10. For Ray Handles, we're going to see one of those new suits. And jockey Luis Saez in the fourth at Saratoga.
The run into the first turn shaped it up all. The race changed when the number 2 Rabajat didn't break well, and Gem Mint 10 was able to control the lead. This was the game. The race was won going into the first turn, and Rabajat suffered a brutal trip. He got shuffled back and check and steady, the horse that's preferred to be on the lead. Meanwhile, Gem Mint 10 got away with a soft early half-mile fractions.
Richie facing similar as a favorite in his last start. He faltered in his last. What was the difference? A much better version of Gem Mint 10 on this afternoon.
Well, I think last time he got cast into a chasing position, right? He was in the clear, he was laying second, but he's chasing a horse, and that can be a discouraging position for a horse, especially a horse that came off a big effort off a layoff. Now he had that race in between. He bounced out to the lead and under aggressive Luis Saez, and I think that made all the difference. Once he got in a big, comfortable rhythm, and I love the way he rode him. This is the way you ride a speed horse. You don't wait around for the closers to get on top of you and in essence try to outfinish the finishers. You allow your horse to use his speed. I never understood why riders will hold up and think they're going to outkick the kickers. That's not a winning strategy. Luis Saez kicked on, leaving the turn, and the race was over.
That's how he's had the most success during the course of his career, Luis Saez, when he's been that more aggressive, when he, he's one of only 2 jockeys, Raj, not named Ortiz to win a Saratoga riding title over the last decade or so. He won the title in 2020, the pandemic year, and here with Gem Mint 10, the perfect ride and the result.
Yeah, Luis Saez, and such an aggressive rider, and when he lets horses bounce and do their thing, and doesn't give up anything that comes easy, that's when he's at his optimal best. And one of the strongest finishers in the sport. Yeah. A guy that's really sits on a horse really nice and molds and contours to the horse's body. Smaller frame, and he's just made. He was born to be a jockey.
He swept the Jim Dandy and Travers, Essential Quality, a 2-year-old champ, a couple of years back. And he takes down this 11th of 12 at Saratoga 4-1-10-8. When we return, we'll clean it all up and revisit the lone Grade 1 event this afternoon. The Alfred G. Vanderbilt Nakatomi. Die-hard references for a month between now and the Forego. Puts away Skelly, goes on to the biggest win of his career. We'll recap next.
He always showed up. From June at 2 and through 2 championship seasons, week after week after week of consecutive works. That's toughness. He always showed off. You know all about those 4 G1s. Here's his maiden on the Derby undercard. That's brilliance. Now his yearlings are at the sales. That's opportunity. Essential Quality. Showtime.
Horse racing? Check. Weekly promotions? Got 'em. Huge payouts? You bet. With Naira Bets. Download the app today and bet on any track, anywhere, anytime with live HD horse races, betting tips and tutorials, expert picks, and more. You bet with Naira Bets. Join now for a new member bonus at NairaBets.com.
History remembers moments of extraordinary strength, skill, and determination. True greatness is forged by those who fulfill their destiny.
Spine-tingling, jaw-dropping, awe-inspiring, Secretariat-like.
Gorgeous afternoon, live look. Saratoga race course. He's going to walk right on the logo, isn't he? Right on the logo. Thanks a lot. Another team. I'm surrounded by team players today. Coverage, as always, brought to you in part by Mohegan Sun. All in for Mohegan. Jim Dandy earlier presented by Mohegan. Luis Saez entering the winner's circle. You saw the thumbs up there. Winning trainer Ray Handel. Terrific start to the meet for Handel as well.
It seems like every day Ray Handel is getting in the winner's circle, and his horses are actually sometimes paying good prices like this.
$15.40 to Richie in the winner's circle.
Yeah, thanks, Afid. I'm happy to be joined by Matt Kater, managing partner of Adelphi Racing. And Matt, Gem Intent was really good today. He's got a big, long stride, and when he's allowed to use his stride, he's just very efficient.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at his races this year, his first race off the bench was great. And he got to kind of do that, what you just said. He got an easier pace, got to stride out, and he really fought at the end. And he went farther than he had gone in the past and still kind of finished. The last race, the pace was so quick. And obviously didn't finish quite as well, but we still had confidence that if he got the right kind of pace scenario today, that he could win. And he really fought and kicked away, and everything went the right way today.
Well, and it's always great to win in Saratoga. But what struck me, Matt, was the amount of people in the winner's circle, and obviously everybody's happy in the winner's circle. Talk a little bit about your partnership and that kind of family environment that it seems you're fostering.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I'm just so happy for the horse and for these partners, because we had a tough beat with this horse last year in Saratoga. I lost to a really nice horse, Let's Go Big Blue. And to get it done this year, like with a year later, everyone's always stayed believing in this horse. And we just have such a good group. People like to own horses together. They like to hang out, whether we're running a horse or not, you know, handicapping, having a drink at the bar, whatever. Like, people just love to hang out. And, you know, we just got a really good group of people that get along well. And it's good when you get to have these sort of topper moments that sort of, you know, caps all that off.
Well, it's just fun watching everybody enjoy themselves. Now, this is a horse that you purchased right down the street at Fasig-Tipton in the August sale, and who picked it out?
Joey bought this horse. Joey bought this horse with Ray, and great pick out by Joe, because there wasn't a ton from a pedigree perspective. And, you know, him and Ray had sort of the sales pitch ready for me the night that the horse sold, because they know I like pedigree. And they're like, look, this horse is a little light on pedigree, but we love him physically. Here's why. And those guys did a great job of selling me, and it's paid off. And Joe, you know, I'm not just saying it because it's you. Joe works harder than anyone. He's bought a ton of good horses for us. He's as honest as the day is long, and I'm just happy that, you know, we're having the kind of success we are.
Matt, thank you so much. Thank you for the kind words of my son. Migliore Bloodstock. Shameless promotion here, guys, but it is my son.
And we know where he gets that work ethic, that drive. Carmela and Richie, Joe Migliore involved with that victory, a proud moment for both in the winner's circle there. Rajiv, it's not just winning. It's not just about winning at Saratoga. It's about who you're winning with and sharing those moments with.
Oh, but success is best shared with people that you care about and people that you enjoy being around. That's one of my firm beliefs, and I see it with these partners as well. You can tell what Matt's saying about his partners. They're a good group of people, and it seems like they have fun whether they win or they lose, which is important in this game because you don't always get to win. Sometimes you get snapped on the wire by your nose, and you have to wait a whole year for an opportunity to come back at Saratoga again. And let me just add this as well. Richie, you can see how proud he is of his son Joe, the hard work that he puts in, and the success that he's having as a bloodstock agent. He wanted to be a jockey when he was younger, and he grew way out of the saddle, and he'd be able to stay in the sport that he loves, and being involved is good. And Ray Handel, the trainer. I'm a Jamaican that left Jamaica when I was a teenager to pursue a better career in the industry. Same as Ray. Ray was born in Jamaica, grew up there, and now he's having success on the biggest stage in the world. This is very important for him as well, and for me as a fellow Jamaican, makes me proud to see how he's come on in the sport.
Really, really well said, and a celebrated victory all around in the 11th race here at Saratoga. We have one left, the 12th, the nightcap, in about 20 minutes. New York breds in this one, fillies and mares, a mile on the inner turf course. Field in live odds, another challenging handicapping endeavor. Raj, we have a 7-2 favorite in this one in North and Lady. How did you see the nightcap unfolding?
Well, challenging is always good because it brings value, and I really like the number 4 here, Summer World, who currently is the favorite, but it's 2-1. It was a decent price, and she was just second in her most recent start, just getting beat with John Velasquez by a neck. That was her first time around 2 turns. Now it's her 3rd start. She got the 2-turn experience, got a great inside post. I think everything is aligned for a top effort here.
That's coming up next, 19 minutes out, the 12th on Jim Dandy Saturday from Saratoga. So the 2 headline events. We've recapped the Jim Dandy, and with all roads, we would assume leading to the Travers, but perhaps not for the winner. We'll see. The Amsterdam. Skelly, as good as he's been, Raj, it's been getting out of the gate. The Vanderbilt, I should say. Skelly, he didn't break that poorly, but he didn't break that sharp either.
That's his Achilles heel, and going into this race, we talked about it. You can do that against subpar horses and get away with it, but when you get to the highest level at this Grade 1 races, there's not much separating the horses on ability, so you can't give up any advantages, and ultimately that did him in. In the meantime, I honestly did not see this race shaping up the way it did. I expected other horses to be closer chasing Skelly.
Nakatomi much closer.
And Nakatomi to be coming from well off the pace, who was my pick, and he won, but not in the manner that I thought. And for Nakatomi, it was very important to see that he sat closer to the pace and was still effective in finishing, because that's what you get worried about sometimes with a horse that's a closer. If you take them too close to the pace, well, maybe they're not as effective, and they ended up just evening out in the stretch. And I think this bodes well for the connections of Nakatomi. They know they can be further back on a faster pace, but then if the speed doesn't develop, they can put him closer to the race.
You remember when Cody's Wish beat Jackie's Warrior in the Forgo? And the question was, like, what's wrong with Jackie's Warrior? Nothing. Cody's Wish is just really, really good. The question here, well, what happened to Skelly? Nothing. Nakatomi just ran that well, ran Skelly down.
And exactly what you said, I'm going to agree with it, because Skelly ran a great race. Let's take nothing away from him. He was beat, but he ran a great race, second in a Grade 1. Nakatomi just outran him. And, you know, and Skelly didn't face as much super pressure as we expected, because he's fast. He made his way, even though he broke slow, to be able to create separation from his competition, because he's just such a natural speed.
Were you expecting him to widen at the top of the stretch, or did you get the sense that Nakatomi always kind of had him in his sights?
I felt like Tyler Gaffalione was zoned in on him. You can tell he was behind him. He had all eyes set on him. And that's what happens when you're the top horse in the race. You're the favorite. You're definitely going to have everyone's attention. And yeah, I always felt like Gaffalione, the rider of Nakatomi, had him right where he wanted him. I would say had him in the back pocket.
Expecting him farther back, Nakatomi, right? If he was going to win, it was going to be an ambush from far off the pace. No, he kept Skelly in his sights and went by him when it mattered most, and takes down the Grade 1 Alfred G. Vanderbilt. We'll step aside. 16 minutes out, 12th and final coming up, and tomorrow. Silver Knot. Bowling Green. Keep prep for the Grade 1 Sword Dancer on the undercard of the Travers. We'll look ahead and preview when we come back.
And they're off at the Naira Ben Haskell.
In the Belmont Stakes at Saratoga.
Dornock setting up moderate pace, 3/4 of a length ahead.
It is the field, turns for home. Mind frame on the outside. It's coming after Dornock.
They're at it again. The two Belmont first and second place finishers
will be Dornock to win the Belmont Stakes.
Dornock wins the Haskell.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the management and staff of Keeneland, I would like to welcome you to the September yearling sale. Good to have you back with us.
It is the marketplace.
It's electric.
Quality in quantity.
Some of the absolute best horses.
These are the horses we're going to be cheering on in the next 4 or 5 years to come.
It's Shareholder to win the Norfolk.
Dornock win the Belmont Stakes at Saratoga. Randomized in a dramatic photo finish in the Ogden 5th.
Welcome back. Saratoga Live on Fox Sports 2. 12th and final in 13 minutes. Post-parade shortly. But tomorrow, we go bowling. In this key prep for the Grade 1 Sword Dancer Mile and 3/8, 3 turns in our turf course. Let's start with number 2, Silver Knot, the odds-on favorite. Big Blue, Godolphin, Charlie Appleby, and Flavia Pratt. This was the Man of War in May, Raj, and Silver Knot is going to leave this field in his wake. Ohana Honor chasing, will settle for a second place finish, but in the end, just too much Silver Knot.
Yeah, so this performance by Silver Knot, which earned him a 106 Beyer speed figure, was just dominating. And one of the things about him, you could see him there, he's just pulling away from his competition after sitting third. This horse is versatile. He can sit off the pace, just off the pace. He can even go to the lead because 2 starts back, he chased the pace and still won. He is just a tough customer in this race, and the race really just revolves around him, bottom line.
Strictly the one to beat, hence the 4-5 billing. But if there's a meltdown of some sort, for some reason, look out for Soldier Rising from far off the pace. That's where he was situated in his most recent, the Red Smith at Monmouth. There he is, Raj. He was farther back. He's starting to close in on the leaders as best as he possibly can, weaving in through traffic, and in the end, going to fall about a neck short.
It's a fun horse to watch run, right? You see him navigating through traffic, and he's such a brave guy who does his best running coming from off the pace. And the faster the pace goes up front, the better it will enhance his closing kick. And he never fears coming through horses. I love to see a horse with that running style. And you know, this is a small group, right? 7 horses, but it's a quality group. 5 of the 7 runners in this race has cracked a triple-digit Beyer speed figure. So there's some quality in here. the favorite is obviously a really tough horse because he's on peak form right now.
He'd have to have a really just an off day, but it happens from time to time. Tomorrow's feature, the Bowling Green, always a fun race. We'll have it for you right here on Saratoga Live. On the track for the 12th and final here, more New York breds. You'll hear from a New York bred talking about that filly who is favored. Summer World, currently 2-1. Richie, what are you seeing in the paddock?
Well, again, going to the 4, like you said, immediately Summer World, she's got a great post inside, going a mile here on the inner turf. She could not look any better from a physical perspective. We're always trying to fit the puzzle pieces, right? What we like on paper and current form and what we see from a physical perspective. And she checks both boxes. She looks incredible. Daughter of Arrogate, she's long, she's elegant, she's lean. She couldn't look any better in the coat, that rich, splendid, hydrated coat that we look for. Just talks about a horse's overall general good health. Her main rival, drawn right outside of her, also making good impression, is the 5 Autumn. Now, Autumn, 2 starts back, got a little too far back and had a lot to do, made it all up around the far turn and leveled off. Then she comes back at Aqueduct and maybe showed a bit too much speed. Get Jose Lascano today, and maybe it's going to be that Goldilocks effect. Not too much speed, not too far back, everything just right. And I don't think a lot separates the 4 and 5 here as far as ability. Another horse I would want to talk about is the 6. She is all business, making her first start in the Linda Rice barn. I thought she had excuses in both of her starts as a 2-year-old last year. Now she gets Lasix for the first time, and she comes back looking like she could fire well off of the bench.
She's all business, dangerous off the pine. We'll find out by a Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf winner and Oscar performance, 12-1. Outsider. Riders up and a post parade when we come back for the 12th and final on this Jim Dandy Stakes Saturday, winding things down from Saratoga, 9 minutes out till the nightcap. We'll be right back.
War Cancer, New York's leading turf sire, is on fire at the Big A with Dancing Buck wire-to-wire in the elusive quality.
Dancing Buck is almost there. Dancing Buck.
Power Attack with back-to-back wire-to-wire wins.
It's going to be Power Attack.
As well as 26 Black.
Here's 26 Black surging by them all to win it by a neck.
And Roos.
Torrigo trying to catch them both. Roos to the inside of the red blinkers. Roos gets the victory.
Breed to a winner. War Dancer, proud to stand in New York.
New York breds. Race them.
Respect them.
Bet them.
Respect them.
Breed them.
Respect them.
650-75. Buy them.
Respect them.
70-75. Train them for a second career.
Respect them.
Join us in respecting thoroughbreds at every stage of life. Learn more at nybreds.com.
RaceLens is the most in-depth product in horse racing, with unique features found nowhere else. True odds, predictive analysis, and pace projection. RaceLens. It will change the way you follow horse racing and take your game to the next level.
Nominate your horse today to join Racing's Elite on Travers Week at Saratoga, August 21st through 24th. The championship road runs through 9 stakes, topped by the DraftKings Travers. Go to NYRA.com/horseman to nominate by August 10th.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. RTN has packages that start at $5 per month.
Just because your day at the races has ended, that does not mean your night is over. In the city of Saratoga Springs, there's no shortage of quaint cafes, beautiful restaurants, amazing parks, and nightlife that goes on and on and on. This city captivates visitors year after year with its charming and picturesque aesthetic that comes alive in the summer months. Strolling through the streets, you'll encounter intricately detailed historical homes surrounding a vibrant and bustling downtown area. Here you'll find some of the best restaurants in town, town, unique boutiques, art galleries, and inviting outdoor cafes. Lastly, you gotta check out a show at the Saratoga Performing Arts Center. Better known as SPAC, it's an incredible outdoor music venue, and there are great shows all summer. For everything you need to know about planning your summer getaway to the races, visit americasbestracing.net.
Not just a racing town on a day like this, it's a racing town. And then that migration that takes place after the nightcap, and the crowd that makes their way downtown to Saratoga. If you drive downtown, don't run stop signs like we were in that golf cart. Not a good idea. You'll get in trouble and in a hurry. Post-parade race 12, there's Miss City Girl and Joel Rosario.
This one goes out for Christophe Clement. Was second last time at this level after being brushed at the start.
CC, the saddle towel too, but an outside post.
It got a bit of a wide post, but this long shot is a sneaky, interesting one because it finished third at the level 2 starts back, and last time had a lot of trouble in that race.
Richie said she's long, lean, elegant, and she's favored Summer Whirl, then Autumn, and Jose Lascano.
Richie gave the stamp of approval for my top pick. One just really makes a lot of sense on paper.
Seasonal Exacta, Summer Whirl, Autumn. Then there's She Is All Business on the comeback.
And never discount a Linda Rice trainee, and this one is first time for Linda Rice. Last race for this horse was in October 2023.
Bobby M's Girl, Smiling Assassin, Katie Davis at 20-1. The number 8, Princess Summer, blinkers on for Mike Maker.
First off, the trainer claim to Mike Maker, adds blinkers and switches back to the turf. A lot of angles that can be successful.
A little bit naughty for Belmont. Haskell, winning trainer, Danny Gargan.
This one doesn't have a lot of early speed. Would need a hot pace up front to have a good finish late.
Louis Size looking to go back-to-back. Then number 10, a serious player, North End Lady and Flavian Pratt.
Did all the dirty work and just losing last time after opening up a massive lead from a wide post. This is a major player in here.
Had a girl Addie, 5 race, maiden at 39-1.
It got beat 9 lengths at this level last time, but 3 starts back was actually second at 42-1.
Capital Spending draws in Arad Ortiz rides. Interesting.
Sprinted 3 times on the grass. Finished second last time after closing today. Gets more real estate to work with. Would be expecting this one to try to make one big late run.
Stretching out first time. I don't know. Look out. Capital Spending at 9-1. Let's circle back to the favorite. There's Summer Whirl. John Velasquez. Jim Dandy, winning rider, his 5th with Fierceness earlier. Trying for another here, Summer Whirl. And here, watch her from off the pace. She launches her bid, a solid effort, Raj, and she's just going to run out of real estate.
A solid effort, just, John Velasquez tipping out here in the clear. Exactly what you want to see from a turf race, was saving ground early. And she comes, she puts in her late run, just couldn't quite catch Island Fox, who got the jump on her here with the number 5. But once she got in gear, she was just kept on motoring. And this was only her 2nd start. So she has an upward trajectory. She 3rd first time, second time out. Today should be the day.
Over to Richie with more on a Summer Whirl.
Yeah, guys, I do think Summer Whirl is a deserving favorite, and I think she's going to be very tough to beat. And just like Rajiv talked about, there's a lot more upside. This is only her 3rd start, and it looks like she was just figuring things out last time. But that being said, she's 2-1, and the horse right outside her, the 5 Autumn, who was, beaten a half a length by her last time after I thought maybe showing a bit too much speed, is 7-1. So the disparity in price, I'm going to pick the 5 while admitting that the 4 is absolutely the horse to beat. And a horse that I will talk about now that did not catch my attention in the paddock, but you see something different sometimes when you watch horses on track. And at a big price, the 9, a little bit naughty, I think is way too big a price, and I do think she'll outrun her odds. When she got on the racetrack, this daughter of Oscar Performance, almost puffed up. She got a little wider, a little bigger, and maybe with Louis Saez, maybe she can find just a bit more position. But 21-1, I'm going to use her in my exactas and tries, guys.
Richie, stay with me for a second here. Fierceness not 21-1. Strikes in the Jim Dandy. Really good stuff with Mike Rapoli at the top of this broadcast. We'll await a decision as far as what start maybe next. As fans, naturally, we're selfish. We want to see him in the Travers. What is your gut? tell you? I am asking you to speculate, but what does your gut tell you about when we'll next see Fierceness?
I think my gut tells me that if there's any way this horse can make the gate, Fierceness in the Travers, Mike Rapoli's going to want him in the Travers. It means a lot more than a race, let's say, like the Pennsylvania Derby. But I think ultimately he'll defer to Todd Pletcher, who has a very good handle on this horse. And I'm going to tell you guys, Fierceness carried the best weight I had seen from him in a very long time. He going to the Derby, that was my one thing that kept bugging me. Watching him train, he looked a little thin, a little drawn up. Today, he looked like a bigger, stronger, more robust version of himself. So I'm sure they're going to monitor his weight, and if he's carrying good weight, I sure hope we see him in the starting gate for the Travers, because we want to see championships settled on the racetrack.
Of course, but that's part of it. Maybe the reason he looked so good is because he had all the time off, 10 weeks since his last start, no?
Absolutely, and you know, I wasn't picking him. I was going to pick Sierra Leone. I got to the line of scrimmage and I called an audible and I said, Fierceness is my pick. And I said, I sure hope at the end of it I'm looking like Tom Brady calling this audible. And Johnny Velasquez angled him out on purpose. He wasn't drifting. Johnny drifted. I think he anticipated so much that Sierra Leone would be making that patented outside run. And then when he looked over and he saw it was Sierra Leone coming up the inside, you watch him angle back in. His horse felt the presence of him, Fierceness did, and kind of went on again. I thought it was a really nice effort. I thought maybe just a touch disappointing from Sierra Leone, because I don't think he can work out a much better trip for a closing type.
Great job, Richie, on the Fox broadcast, and good luck with your season exacta here. Summer, Whirl, and Autumn, 4-1 and 5-1, 7-1 respectively. So we'll see. We wait about Fierceness's next start, but just good to see the big horses run at a high level. A champion performing that well, winning the Jim Dandy. And for Sierra Leone, another kind of a bitter defeat, but a solid effort in defeat. Final thoughts as they have reached the gate here, Raj, for this 12th and final.
This is a wide open race, and I wouldn't blame anyone for betting any horse in this race. I would not be shocked if the longest shot wins on the race, because they all have some credibility to them, and there's not much separating them. And when we say that, it ends up becoming a rider's race. A lot has to do with the decisions that jockeys make, who gets the best trip. There's no room for error in here, and it's really going to be a fun race to watch, see who makes the decisions, who takes the initiative of being aggressive, who's saving ground, and on the other side of it, who's getting forced wide, who's not getting in an ideal position. Just a fun race to watch, and I think a very open, wide betting race, even though I ended up on the favorite, because I'm taking the John Velasquez factor.
With his 5th Jim Dandy win, Arad Ortiz, these also eligible types that draw in often get ignored. Capital spending, a tough post, but it is Arad Ortiz. If he can work out a trip, save some ground, or not lose too much ground, look out for her stretching out for the first time. Let's see how it all unfolds. 12th and final. Frank Miramati, great job all afternoon. One more time. He's on the mic for the call. Race 12, Saratoga.
Thanks so much, Lafitte. Still a very big crowd here against the rail at Saratoga Racecourse. Great to see everyone sticking around for the finale. Here's Assisi. In capital spending to complete the lineup. Assisi goes into the gate without Javier Castellano. He's climbing in now. Here's capital spending. They're in the gate. And they're off. Autumn sprints out of the gate. Bobby M's Girl is up close in the early stages. A little bit naughty with the orange sleeves, and on the far outside, capital spending. So it's those 4 across the course, and they're tracked by She Is All Business on the inside of North End Lady. North End Lady right on horse's heels, in between horses, sandwiched at this stage. Assisi and Summer Whirl are racing right together, 7 lengths off the pace. It's another length to Miss City Girl, and then another 4 to the 2 trailers, Atta Girl Addie and Princess Summer, who was flat-footed out of the gate trails. 24 flat for Autumn, who leads the way by a length and a half. Bobby M's Girl racing in second, a little bit naughty, inches up outside of that pair third. They are followed by She Is All Business, North End Lady fifth, coming to the half-mile pole, under a hold on the inside of Capital Spending. Another length back, Assisi is behind Summer Whirl. 2 more behind them to Miss City Girl, and the 2 trailers remain at the back. Atta Girl Addie, Princess Summer, 49 flat. Autumn, being coaxed along by Jose Lescano, leads the way still by a half length to Bobby M's Girl, trying to apply some mild pressure in second. The white blinkers of North End Lady showing up, swinging to the outside for the drive. Autumn is trying to lug in, hugging that rail and leading by 3 lengths with a furlong left to go. Now it's 4 coming to the 16th pole. Bobby M's Girl, North End Lady on the outside, past the 16th pole. Autumn's lead is diminishing. Here's Summer Whirl coming from out of nowhere. Summer Whirl coming at Autumn. Here's the line. Summer Whirl got her. Johnny V caps off a great day with a well-timed ride to mow down Autumn right on the money.
What a finish. The perfect way to end this spectacular day of thoroughbred racing with Johnny Velasquez, now the all-time leading Jim Dandy winning jockey, having racked up a 5th with fierceness. Perfectly timed. Autumn nails Summer Whirl in the shadow of the wire.
When races are decided by such a narrow margin, the jockey that made the difference is this ride by John Velasquez was just absolutely to perfection. He saved ground, tipped out, right in the perfect time. Any second later he waits, he doesn't get there. If he moves earlier, he might get himself stopped. He had to wait patiently for the opening. Then comes out and just makes the most incredible ride.
I got my seasons mixed up, Raj.
Summer
before autumn. Summer before autumn. Summer Whirl picks off Autumn in the shadow of the wire. And for John Velasquez teaming up with Graham Motion, he said how exciting the race looked going in. This is why we love turf racing with 7, 8, 9 horses in contention turning for home.
Yeah, it looks like it would be anyone's race, but I was cued in on Summer Whirl watching her.
What happened
and as
there?
you can see, Autumn slipping away, getting the jump on him and laying in. She's trying to do her best Sierra Leone impersonation, tugging to the left, not making it any easier for her jockey Jose Lescano, but in the meantime, John Velasquez and Summer Whirl just got a full head of steam, and every aspect of this ride was to perfection. From the gate open where he positioned Summer Whirl, when it was time to make the move, just an absolutely flawless, incredible ride.
Perfect ride, big effort. Summer Whirl, yes, but at Autumn, how much did she hinder her chances late with what she was doing in the stretch?
Well, first of all, she had a beautiful trip. Her jockey Jose Lescano rode a perfect race, slowed the pace down. He got it his own way, and then, like Richie alluded to earlier, he didn't wait for them to catch him. He made some separation and seemingly had stolen the race, blown it wide open. But then when Autumn was laying in, it kind of affects the momentum, the rhythm. It's almost like you're dancing, but you're losing your rhythm, you're losing your balance, and you know,
she's in front. Watch her here. What's happening here, Raj?
The biggest problem with when she's lugging in is her jockey can't just get down and ride her straight. He's having to,
right there.
Yeah, he's having to take her momentum away by trying to keep her from colliding with the inside rail, which he has to do, instead of being able to just set her down on a straight course. That definitely cost her the win, because had she stayed course, she would have potentially held on.
Jose Lescano, that look, as you mentioned, that look over his right shoulder, and there's Johnny Velasquez, who nailed him right at the wire. And for Johnny V, who holds just about every record there is to hold at Saratoga for individual stakes wins, money earned, most wins, and this is what Richie observes with his riding that he hasn't, like his legs are still so strong, that he hasn't lost anything, John Velasquez, and that all these years later that he's still competing at such a high level, still winning big races, graded stakes races. Amazing the stamp that he has put on Saratoga as a rider and set and shattered all these records.
Yeah, I mean, and what's tough about being a jockey is all the success Johnny V has had and how great he rides. People still say, oh, he's older, he lost it. You know, you hear that all the time. And it's one of the statements that I just definitely don't agree with, because he rides at the best level every time. He gives you that ride every time. And it's one jockey that I would pick over anybody else right now.
Very candid. Before the Jim Dandy, Richie asked him, like, how do you explain the poor efforts by Fierceness? He's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. And he didn't have to answer any of those questions today because Fierceness brought it, as did Nakatomi. What a ride. And that smile says it all. From Tyler Gaffley on in the Grade 1 Alfred G Vanderbilt. And in front of this packed house, Johnny V doing his thing. A 5th Jim Dandy. Fierceness, the champ, back with a vengeance, takes down the Jim Dandy. Next stop, not sure. We await a decision. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.